Well, hello. Welcome to week 1 of NaNoWriMo 2025. This week we're going to be setting up our settings. So let's get into some world building and break all that down. Setting creation can be focused on many different aspects, but we are primarily going to focus on just 3 aspects: the physical environment, the peoples that populate these different places, and magic systems. All right, so aspect number 1, physical setting. What are your physical settings going to look like? The different regions, the different nations. Take out a piece of paper and actually write down line by line what these places are going to look like and feel like. Make sure to use a lot of emotional words too. If these places feel foreboding, you want to write that down, because when you're going back and actually writing your story, you want to make sure to keep those sort of instances of emotion and visuals very, very real and very active for the reader. It's always very off-putting when you're reading a book and the author all of a sudden starts describing how gloomy the place is, but it didn't seem gloomy before. Or they explain how, like, the royal hall is so lively, but somebody was just decapitated. So you really want to set your tone from the outset and describe places in a very consistent way, or else your reader's just going to get so lost. Aspect number 2 is your peoples. Now, this is kind of an umbrella category because your people are their governments, they are their religions, their ethnicities, and even their races. You might decide to have elves or Klingons or dwarves or whatever. So there's so many different aspects to this, so take a big breath. We're going to buckle in for this one. When you're coming up with your different factions, feel free to pull from real-world examples, but don't take entire societies, slap a new name on it, and then say, like, oh, this is my new faction, because people can tell what you're doing. It's very cheap. But if you want to take, like, the Roman legionaries and give them more of a, I don't know, Hispanic matriarchal kind of society, and then give them Celtic religion, something like that, by blending a few different things, you can create something new that is very understandable and feels somewhat familiar. So just a brief example of what this might look like in your outline, I have written in mine for a group I call the Crestlings. The Crestlings are a theocratic city-state modeling the Catholic and Orthodox churches. And because of a very binding treaty between the Hijanti and the Crestlings, the Hijanti cannot walk on land and the Crestlings cannot go in the waterways. So basically all of their rivers and waterways belong to another race of people that live in their rivers. It's kind of a weird setup, but by doing that, it feels very fresh and new, but then it has these very relatable touchstones for other people. Like, we know a lot about the Greeks, we know a lot about high Christian churches like Catholic and Orthodox, so many aspects of this new culture are going to feel very, very familiar. You're going to be reading it going, oh, this feels real, this feels normal. They have cathedrals, they have, you know, different Greek-style soldiers, but then some aspects will feel very foreign, which is good. Modeling those two things, you can really blend them together and make something new. But how do I do this for my book? I hear you cry. Very simple. Start making a list of all the different aspects of cultures and societies and religions that you find fascinating. If something kind of tickles that itch and you're like, oh, I'm interested here, study it more. I just read Tao Te Ching for the 3rd time. Fascinating book. I'm not a Taoist, I don't believe in Taoism, but I think it's very beautiful and very, very interesting. So if you're fascinated by something, delve into it, read about it, and try to pick out those little things that you find interesting and use it to develop your own culture. 2/3 of the way done. We're almost there. You got this, guys. Stick it out. All right, the third and final aspect is magic systems. When it comes to developing your magic system, you want to make sure that you have hard and fast rules so your reader will understand what your characters can and cannot do. If you just leave it all loosey-goosey and allow your characters to do whatever fits the story, it's going to feel very Deus Ex Machina anytime they get out of a problem using magic. You need to make sure that there are limitations, and you need to make sure your readers understand what those are. Examples, please. I don't like all the vagueness. Okay, I'll give you 2 different examples. One from my own writing and one from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So first off, in Avatar, the benders from all the different nations can each only bend one element. Whether that's water bending, fire bending, air bending, they can only do one. That might seem kind of boring at first until you realize how much that can be applied. For example, Katara, she bends waves, she bends ice, and it's like, okay, you're bending water. But then when she's locked in a wooden cage with no containers of water around her, she starts exercising, sweats, and then bends the sweat off of her forehead to cut through the wooden beams. I just thought that was really cool. That limitation actually made the situation far more interesting. And then later in the series, spoilers, sorry, later in the series, when she learns how to blood bend, because blood is 83% water, that was really fascinating too, because you didn't see it coming. An example from my own writing is the Lunitiate order. So I have this group of women called the Lunitiates. They're sort of like healer nuns, if you will. And the way it works for them is they are able to lay hands on people and heal them only when they are ovulating. And this is because their natural life-giving power as, women, as potential mothers, is transferred through them and into somebody else. And they're only able to do that a couple of days a month. So there you have it. Those are the 3 main aspects that I would consider for developing your setting. If you still don't know what you're doing exactly and you just don't know how to find those right tones and those right elements, just read more of the things that you love. If you love something, examine it more. Try to find what works in it. Try to implement things that you enjoy. All right. Well, anyway, I will see you guys hopefully next week. This video actually was supposed to come out a week ago, but I was sick as a dog. So hopefully I will be able to keep cranking out these videos and we will get through all of them before November. So yeah. Anyway, I love you all and I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.